Yeah, I nothing to do with it.
Okay.
But
Let's pause this.
I just can't get that snack. So bring your own.
Seriously? So just move slow and modify everything. So start in a child's pose. Wide, your big toes come together. This is going to be fun. You're going to move and have fun, and you won't know what happens to you without having to do them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great. So your arms can be forward, they could be back alongside your body. Either way works. Head rest on the mat. Full cycles of breath. Yeah, we're in the elements of nature. There may be some funky bugs out here, some small animals. We just deal with it. Yeah, you could get hit with an acorn.
Or woodlock.
Yeah, this is like Woodlock Spa here in the backyard. Anchor the hands. Now, there should be a lift of your forearms because your arms are active. The outer triceps grip in firmly against the mat. Now, toes into the mat right here. Anchor the hands and start to lift up the hips really, really slow into a down dog. And as you arrive to this first down dog, just kind of work out the placement of your body. We want to take up quite a bit of space on the mat this morning. Your hands are about shoulder width distance. I like to go a little wider with the hand placement. Yeah. And I always look at the hands and make sure that the index fingers are forward or just slightly turned out. And then look back at your feet and make sure they're roughly hip width distance. Yeah. Bend behind your knees as much as you may need. So this feels okay. So have slightly bent knees. And if you feel okay, the legs are straight and you begin to melt through the center of the heel down towards the ground. Belly in and up, and breathe your hips high up off your shoulders. And if you either are all over the place or you had too much coffee or not enough sleep and your eyes are kind of like darting around and you can't find focus, pick one spot. No. Yourself. Because truthfully, it's not about moving through the poses so much. It's about finding balance in your body, your mind, your breath. Roll forward to your first plank. And so from down dog to your first plank, you may need to walk it out a little. So you find that sweet spot. Your shoulders are directly over your elbows are over your wrists. And we're going to try and take the round out of our spine. So the best cue that I have for you is to ride your exhale breath out and bring your weight forward on your tippy toes. And then lead with your chest a little, with your neck staying super neutral. Fix your eyes on the front edge of the mat and hold. Drop your knees because you're just not interested in working so hard, or this doesn't feel so great. Give yourself that little TLC. You've got every opportunity to make the practice work for you. It's not about blowing yourself out of the water. Back by leading with your chest. Yes, quiet your mind. That's fine. If not, lower halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Less is more. You don't want to go so deep that your shoulders dump. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let the head go. Know that everything is temporary. Yeah. Roll forward to a plank position. That's okay. Yeah, perfect. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga, or just a little push-up is what may work best. That looks good. Re-straighten your arms, plank in one piece. Hips up and back dog. Forward plank. Halfway at most to a push-up. Drop your knees if you need support. Plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. The mat, Take 2 big steps. 1, or it may be 10 steps. 2, to the top. Long spine on the inhale. If the fingertips are on the ground, that's okay. If you need your hands on your shins because you feel a little tight, weight is forward. Look forward with your eyes. Exhale, fold in half. Try that again. Inhale, long spine. So you want to touch something, either the floor or your hands to your shins. You got it. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, long spine, create some space and length for yourself. Exhale, fold, let your head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Get your first head rush, if you're lucky. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Reach up, look up with your eyes. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips. This just prepares you and sets up your spine. Plant your hands, 2 big steps to get you back to plank. Up, chaturanga, pause. Drop your knees if it's not working for you, so drop your knees. Lead with your heart and chest to your first up dog. Point your toes, pause. If you want to add more today, recurl the toes, re-push up. Hips up and back down dog. If you're like, what the hell was that? Don't worry. 2 big steps to get there. 1, 2. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drop heart, drop your arms. So again, we go. Arms reach up, anchor. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself. You got it. Step, step to plank. If you feel like hopping, you always hop to a push-up, chaturanga. If not, everyone lower halfway. Pull yourself through up dog or baby cobra. It's up to you. If you want to add that extra push-up, you recurl your toes, bend your elbows, chaturanga, straighten your arms to plank, hips up and back dog. That's not for you. You just skip it. Hold down dog. If you feel like you could get there without rolling, long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold, root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So keep going like this. Arms reach up, straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your weight pull you forward. Long spine sets you up. You're going to step, step. If you want to float, you have to land with bent elbows to a chaturanga. It's not for everyone. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Pause in the up dog. If you want to add that extra push up, it's up to you. If not, hips up and back, downward facing dog. You got it, Lauren. Perfect. Deep breath in. Deep breath to be and move. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Arms reach up, stretch up big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to set you up. Step, step, or float through your version of a vinyasa. So that could just be stepping back to a down dog too. Drop your knees if you need that support. That looks great. Up dog is a back bend and a new breath. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Yeah, drop your knees directly down underneath you. So you're like in a little tabletop position. Slide your right leg straight back. So it's like a 3-legged tabletop. Just pause here for a second. Feel your outer arms hug in and feel your right leg in space. And you want to make sure when you do this that your right thigh is contracted and pointed towards the ground with a flexed foot. Slide your left arm forward. Yeah. Now, the simple balance sometimes gets us. It gets us good. Yeah. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving and focus on the center line of your body. So you're going to draw your elbow to your knee and it's going to kind of come across and it's going to look like this. Pause. You got to press firm through your right hand and the outer right tricep. Grip and round in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Do it slow enough so you can really feel what you're doing. Hug in. In opposite directions. Hug in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. One more time. Flex the foot more, Steph. Hug in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Good. Plant the left palm down. Keep the lifted right leg, okay? Hug the knee straight in with both hands down on the ground. Slide your right foot all the way forward and through. Be on your fingertips. Activate your back leg now. So this is your psoas. This is our walking muscle. Grip your right hip in strong. Slide your arms straight back and hover. So you're hovering over your front thigh. No, you can always drop your knee too if it's too much, just so you know. Turn your palms just down. You're perfect. Grip the hip in. Good. More weight forward, creating a straight box shape with your right leg. Sweep your arms out and up or straight up, depending on your shoulders. Hip points move forward. Good, so let's do this. Let's straighten the right leg 3/4 of the way. Pause. From your hip points to your armpits to your fingertips, lift up. Rebend the front right thigh. Drop your left knee so it hovers, so your tailbone goes long and your thigh drops down. Re-straighten the leg from your hip, from your thigh bone and from your quadricep. Straighten your right leg 3/4 of the way. Good. Rebend the right thigh. Drop the left knee so it hovers. Re-straighten the leg from the glute. One more time, straighten the right leg. You should feel something. Rebend the front thigh. Hover the left knee. Re-straighten the leg. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Pause. Turn your back foot on a strong angle without your right hip like budging out. Hug it in. Yeah. Arms go back again. Turn your back toes mirror even more forward if you can. If not, just be on the ball of your back foot and do it again. Root to rise, warrior one. So warrior one is a little more intense in the lower spine. You may need to widen your stance. You may need to go back to be on the ball of the back foot if this doesn't work. Steer your left ribs forward. Grip your right hip in strong. Yeah, wrap the arm straight forward and wrap your left arm underneath your right. Even if you're in a crescent version of this, you can still do it. Rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up. Yeah. And just hold here a few cycles of breath. Maybe even close your eyes and just feel your body in space. Anchor through your feet, through your legs. Grip your right hip in strong. Arms up, spread the fingertips. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Peel your left heel up off the ground. Yeah, step your right foot back into a plank. Lean onto your left hand for a Vashisthasana side plank. You're welcome to stagger the feet, drop the bottom knee, come down to your forearm. Lift from your bottom hip up. Spread the collarbone. That looks great, Jess. Yes, nice work. Breathe. Elevate yourself away from the ground. Pause and plank. Halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Good. Drop your knees directly down and just scoot them a little closer to you. Slide the left leg back. So the left space now, and just pause for a second. Again, belly engages, right arm extends forward. If you think you screwed it up, just do the side you think you didn't do. Good luck with that. Yeah. Option, like finding your body in space. Hug the knee towards the elbow. It's going to kind of come across sideline through the body. In opposite directions. In the end. The slower you move, the more you'll feel. Hug in, so you may want to move really fast if you want to feel nothing. Extend in opposite directions, one more. Hug in, scoop out. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Keep the lift of the leg, just bring their hand down, just pause. Good. Hug the knee in, straight in, and then step your foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips, activate your back leg and lift the kneecap up. Iron out the position of your feet. You may need to walk your left foot a little to the left. Try that, Lauren, a little bit over to Jess, and you'll be in good shape. Activate your back leg. You can opt out. Arms reach back, hover. The palms face down so the eyes of the shoulder blades pull back. You steer your left hip underneath you. Activate your back leg. Get heavy in your legs. And then root to rise, crescent lunge, come on up. If you get here, it feels lousy, you drop your knee, no one gives a crap. Your arms reaching out from your hip points to your armpits to your fingertips, keep all that. Begin to straighten your left leg only 3/4 of the way. Yeah, hug the hips and strong rebend from the thigh bone. Drop the right knee so it hovers straight down. Activate and straighten. Straighten the left leg on track 3/4 of the way, do it slow. Rebend the thigh. Drop the right knee a little bit or so it hovers. Re-straighten the leg. One more time, straighten the left leg on track 3/4 of the way. Rebend the leg. Drop the right knee so it hovers. Re-straighten the leg. In the front foot, keep the left foot where it is. Turn the back foot on an angle. My hip automatically popped out as I did that, so grip the hip in strong. Fire up the outer blade of the back foot and then reach your arms back. You got it. Hover, anchor, and then come on up, warrior one. And then you may have a little room to slide your foot forward. So you want about hips width distance. You can steer your right ribs forward. Press strong through the back blade. Arms reach straight forward. Wrap your left arm or your right arm. I think it was the right arm. You should do the right arm. Lift the elbows up. Yes. And then close your eyes and just feel for a few moments. Forward, keep pressing firm through the outer feet. Grip your left hip underneath you, and from your hip points to the crown of the head, lift up. Unravel your arms, let fresh blood run to your fingertips. Yay. Hands come down to frame the front foot. Right heel lifts up, slide back to plank, and then set up for a Vashisthasana on the right hand. So you're gonna pivot and roll to the outer blade of that foot. You can stagger the feet, you could stack the feet, you could do this any way you like. Drop the bottom knee, lift from the bottom hip, look up with your eyes. Plank, pause and plank. Lead with your chest, lower halfway to a push-up chaturanga. Pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Add in whatever you need here, or take out whatever you don't want. Hips up and back, downward facing. Let it all go. Look to the top, step or float your feet there. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Now you can sit into chair, our least favorite posture. All the way back. So you decide, sometimes it feels better to have the feet a little separated for the lower spine. Sometimes it doesn't impinge at all. Your collarbone and your chest open. Lower half the body is riding down, the upper half the body is moving up. Legs shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. 3 B's together, arms reach up. Sit deep, chair pose. Stick your butt all the way back. Bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. So at this point, you move how you feel good. Maybe it's just stepping to a dog. The up dogs are optional. You can always do a cobra, hips up and back. Land your right foot forward. If your back is sensitive, take crescent, don't take warrior one. Yeah, so there's something for everybody here. Bring it back down on your own beat, chaturanga, or skip, up dog, hips up and back, down dog. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. You move at your own pace, warrior one, hands back down through a vinyasa. You may add 10 extra push-ups if you're feeling really jazzed up. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Really powerful and straight. Look to the top of the mat. You can step, you can float your feet there. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit deeply, chair pose. Then separate your feet if that feels better. Legs, and then with that energy, you shoot up to stand up. It's invigorating, hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go, arms reach up. Sit again into chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth operation here. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one or crescent. Hands come down through a vinyasa. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's yours. From your down dog, your left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Hands come back down through vinyasa. Upward facing point. Hips up and back, down dog, pausing your down dog. Arms stay straight. Look where you want to land. Step or float to the top. Nice and light. Good. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair pose. Weight moves into your heels. Shoot up to stand up. I know, it's so exciting. Hands to prayer, drop your arms. Here we go, one more time. Arms reach up, sit again into chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Long spine sets you up, step or float through a vinyasa, it's okay. Upward facing, we make it up as we go. Downward facing dog, hips pressed back. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Hands come down through a vinyasa or just pause in dog and get yourself together. Back foot turns, warrior one. You feeling good? Through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog point. Hips up, down dog. You're in your down dog. On an inhale breath, just lift your right leg only hip height. Flex the foot really strong. Yeah. Tip in. Feel your outer arms hug in. You got it. In the air, you're just holding it up in space. Lower the right foot down. Good. Lift the left leg up. Do slow movement. Flex the foot, hug your right hip in. Mom, you hear the song? You can't hear it? It's 3 Dog Night. Breathe. But it's harder than you think, right? Roll forward plank. Lift the right foot an inch. Feel like you're pulling the mat apart. Lead with your chest, flex your right foot strong and draw the pit of the belly in. Look forward with your eyes. Lower the right foot down without the hips moving. Lift the left foot up, just an inch. You got it. Lower the left foot down, plank position. Keep your arms and your legs straight, hips up and back, down dog. Lift the right leg up, hip height. Go ahead, flex the foot. Now keep the lift of the leg, roll forward plank with your right foot lifted. Yeah. Hug your right knee straight in towards your navel. Back so it hovers the mat, flex the foot. Lift the hips to a 3-legged down dog. Lower the right foot down. Isn't it fun? Lift the left leg up. Hip height, flex the foot. Come forward, plank, 3-legged plank. Let the foot hover the ground. Feel the arms kind of pull apart. Hug the left knee in, scoop out the belly. Slide the left foot back so it hovers, flex the foot, don't let the foot touch. Lift the hips up and back, 3-legged down dog. Grip the right hip in strong. Lower the left foot down. Roll forward plank. Bend your elbows, halfway push up. Up dog slides you through. Good work. Hips up and back, down dog. Slide your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on an angle. You're going to cartwheel open towards the pool and come into warrior two. It's a really big stance. Roll your right thigh open and always check with your back left foot, Lord, that your toes are turned a little bit towards me, and that's going to get you set up in your hips. You want to think of a squat pose, letting your tailbone drop down. It's the opposite of bar, we don't tuck. Broaden across the collarbone and the chest. And look straight out. Close your eyes too. You can just close your eyes and just feel. 5 breaths, hold here. Just breathe and hold and feel, and not try to run away from the feeling of something being a little different, a little challenging, or maybe you feel nothing. Good for you. Wrap your right thigh open, activate across the collarbone, get heavier in your legs. Rest your right arm on the top of your right thigh. Make it really soft though, so it's not like you're dumping down. Slide your left arm straight up or up and over, depending on your shoulder. Your hand can also just be on your hip if something funky's going on. Less is more in the practice. Grip your right hip underneath you. Turn your bottom ribs and look up. The right hip likes to sneak out, so grip it underneath you. You got it, Mare. Top arm, pull you back up, warrior two. Pause in warrior two. Back, keep your arms open, don't let them drop. Pivot your right toes in, turn from your left hip, your left foot out. Bend into your left leg, warrior two, now you're facing the opposite direction, but your hips are still open the same way. Pivot your right toes a little forward, yeah. Drop down to make a little bit of a bigger step, Jess, and you're gonna be in good shape. Broaden across the collarbone and the chest. Roll your left thigh open, close your eyes and hold 5 breaths. Right leg strong, and let your left thigh roll open more. Body, let your left arm rest on the top of the left thigh. Right arm extends up, can wrap up and forward, or your hand can just simply be on your hip if you need to be a little bit more closer to the body today. Grip your left hip underneath you, turn your bottom ribs and look up. Feel your feet spread wide across the mat. Just keep the connection and the breath, Ujjayi breath flowing. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. You're not laboring, you're not in pain, you're just maintaining. Top arm strong. Let the strength of that top arm and top leg pull you up, warrior two. Look towards your back left hand. Yep, your left hand. Circle the hands to the back of the mat. Step to a plank. You're facing the opposite direction. Halfway to a push-up, chaturanga. Yes, you're facing the opposite direction. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot strong. You're going towards the movie projector now. Open up, warrior two. Yeah. So you're kind of making a circle on your mat, which is kind of a neat way to practice. Get your positioning of your feet and your legs. Rest your hand on the inside of your thigh. I like a block. You can place it to the instep, any angle that works. The higher you go, the more, yeah, and if your block wasn't near you, so we didn't plan so accordingly. Lean back, slide your left arm up and get in there. Left arm can wrap around for a half bind. If you want to add more, you want to lean back into it and open up your collarbone and your chest while gripping your right hip underneath you. And you can always back out. If it's too much having the hand down on the block, you just bump it back up onto the top of the thigh and you do a little less. You get still in the pose and you breathe. So almost feel like, Lord, like you're leaning back towards Jess a little, and you can get a little bit more through the collarbone and the chest. Yeah. Meredith, play around with maybe fisting the hands and getting even more out of the shoulder. Yes, and being even higher up. So you're using the strength of the lower half of the body, but not jamming into the low back. 3 more breaths, guys, you're doing great. Yeah, it's perfect. Unravel the top arm if it's not already unraveled. Use the top arm to pull you up. Warrior two, you're facing the same way. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg, pivot the right toes in around. If you only have one block, just move it with you. Good. Pivot the left toes to the front edge of the mat. Rearrange the back foot so it points in and then bend deep into the left thigh. Warrior two. Get this situated and set up, and then drop your left hand down on the inside. A block is really helpful for some of us. Back of the tricep, inside of the leg, right arm extends up. So the modified version of this is just going back with the way we started. It's not so modified, it's just a little less pressure. Wrap the right arm around if you want to add a little more. Collarbone and chest open. Yes, use the back of your tricep to press that thigh open. More and use, yeah, there you go. That's gonna get that hip, which is tight. Yeah, and feel free to move the block even closer to you. Yeah, move it closer to the arch of the foot. Perfect, there you go. Couple more. Yeah, I like the fisted hand, Jess. It helps me, I don't know why. Couple more, stay with it. The moment you want to give up, that's like everything in your mind just kind of explodes. So stay with it. Enjoy the sounds of nature living in the suburbs. Yes, it's quite unique. Unravel the right arm up. Use the strength of your back leg and your top arm, warrior two. Look towards the left hand at the front of the mat. Circle to the floor. Vinyasa. Make it feel good. Open up the chest in the up dog or cobra. Good. Hips up and back, down dog. Land your right foot smack in between your hands. Have the block now at the front of the mat if you can. Anchor the left leg. You're going to pull up in the front of your right shin for triangle from the ground up. The hips are going to stay the same direction they just were. Extend the left arm up towards the sky. Look up with your eyes. So now you want your front leg more straight. So yeah, with a little bend behind it. And if it's too much, your block can always be situated to the outside of your calf at any level to give you a little bump. Lean back a little bit, grip your right hip underneath you, and extend that left arm straight up and down like side plank arms. Hug the hips underneath you, use the side ribs and keep them nice and long. And just breathe. Focus on the little things in the pose. Maybe your breath, just making the feeling light, not so intense. Nothing needs to be that intense. Let your right shoulder draw down your back. Yeah. Keep the right foot the way it is, the right hip gripping in, look down, use your block. You're gonna pop up into a half moon. The block moves off to the right enough that it's underneath your shoulder. You start with your hand on your hip, you iron out that the right foot is like Tadasana forward, and then the left arm can grow up towards the sky. So just so you know, Jessica, you can always have your hand on your hip or your arm alongside your body just for better balance, and really practice on keeping your bottom hip underneath you, lifting from your inner thigh. Nice, Mare. Anytime we balance, we anticipate falling. That is the goal. Because you're not perfect. Life isn't perfect. Nothing is perfect. So we play around on our mats. It should be fun. We don't always need to play it safe. Just wear your bike helmet and your seatbelt. Those are my two things. I got a lot of things, but that's all I got time to tell you right now. So when you grab your foot for Chopasana, kick behind you. You got it. Stay with it a little longer. Explore. Look down, left hand comes to the floor, square your hips. Land your feet together, sit into the infamous chair. You can separate your feet if you need to, it's totally fine. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow, twist to the right. So if lower back is sensitive, the recommendation is to stay up a little upright and air twist and work on the structure of the lower half of the body. Bring your feet, Jessica, a little closer together. Yeah. Watch that the left knee, Lauren, doesn't come past the right. Yes, that's the hardest part with the tight hips. The spine stays long, the lower half of the body is committed to like that box shape. The breath hasn't stopped flowing because otherwise you'll be blue. Weight stays in your heels. Get in there, open up your arms if you want more. or just be happy and content with what you got. Stay with it. Strong legs, chair pose. So you're gonna lower all the way down and you're gonna take your hands out in front of you like this and lift your legs up. So it's gonna look like this, yeah. And if your arms are short, fingertips can come down tented. Bend your legs, you make a connection with your thighs towards your navel. What we want is our shoulders drawing down our back and our best version of standing up tall in this pose. Good, if you can straighten your legs, go for it, yeah. Stay right here. Now we're gonna lower to an Ardha Navasana, which is a hovering version of this. Your legs can stay up in a 90-degree angle. Your hands will stay down. The most intense version is to hover the feet, hover the shoulder blades, look up with your eyes, scoop out your belly. Keep your hands down. I want the connection to the floor. Your legs can be up at any angle that work for your lower back. Hands stay down, pull it back up. Bhotanavasana, keep the hands down. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Good. Give it another go. Lower at any angle. Just so you know, Jess, you can keep your legs up like this too. Totally fine. And you're doing the same work. Hands stay down. Flex your feet. Navasana. Keep the hands down. Use your core. Ardha Navasana. Hover. I know you hate this. Navasana. Pull yourself up. You got one more in you. Halfway down. Ardha Navasana. Hover. Lower back stays down, hands stay firm. Navasana, pull it up. Cross the ankles and curl it back, chaturanga. Up dog should feel good if you have it in you. Press with the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, down dog. From your down dog, land your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong. Triangle from the ground up. So just pull up anywhere on the front of the shin. Rip the left hip in. You can always use your block. Peel the right arm open. It should feel good in your core too, to just get that explosive openness. Little soft bend behind your left knee. Very, very helpful for a lot of us. Lean back a little bit. It's not a back bend, but you just want your side ribs to open. Look up with your eyes and breathe. Couple more. So focus a lot of energy on your front foot, your hip, and keeping everything really long. Look down. I like bringing my right hand to my hip for balance. And then you elevate forward and you work up into your version of Ardha, half moon. Lift from your inner thigh, stack your body neatly and nicely, and look up. You can have your hand on your hip too, maybe a little bit more helpful. Okay, so take your bottom ribs and turn them. Perfect. Now flex your top foot strong and add in whatever you think you need. That may be adding nothing. Watch that the left foot doesn't turn in. That's the hardest part. So take your bottom ribs and turn them towards the movie screen. Yeah, and you can keep your gaze down if it's more helpful. The kick, if you're going for the Chopasana, is the kick behind you. Stay with it. Good hard work working on balance and concentration. Look down, right hand comes to the floor. Square your hips off first, and then land your feet together and sit deeply into that chair. Separate your feet any amount that works for you. Hands come to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow, twist towards the left. So just reminding you, don't go so deep if you have a little sensitivity. Just stay upright and work on alignment. Your feet, your knees, and your shins should all be lined up nicely. So steer your hips back, keep the weight in your heels, keep the spine long, and then go for it. Let your left shoulder step drop down your back. So take your top hand into a fist. Yep, and point your elbow towards the sky. There you go. And let that shoulder draw down your back. Nice work. Stay there. Keep the breath flowing. Don't get angry. No angry yoga. Chair pose. Drop down a little deeper because you have it in you. Look forward with your eyes. Shoot up to stand up, thank gosh. Drag your hands to prayer. Bring your hands to your hips. Have your block at the top of the mat. Separate your feet hips width distance. Keep your right foot forward and your left leg just gonna step back about 3 feet. You want about hips width distance between your front foot and your back foot. So walk your right foot a little to the right. Yeah. Right hand on your hip, left arm extends up. Inhale the breath, come forward halfway, steer your right hip back, keep reaching, and then land your hand either on a block or actually, for the way we're gonna take this, your hand can just rest on the front of your shin because it's gonna require a little more leg action. Yeah, and then slide your right hand to the flat part of your back, look right. The front knee should have a little bend behind it. And then maybe stack the right arm up, it's up to you. Good. Steer with your hips, your waist, and your spine is staying nice and long. Stack the 2 shoulders like a side plank and breathe. Keep pressing firm through your legs to your feet. Grip the right hip underneath you. Twist open. On the next sharp exhale breath, you're going to cartwheel all the way up and pivot your feet towards the back of the mat and take your hands to your hips. Just pause. So just pivot your whole body towards the back. So take your left foot towards the back edge of the mat, turn your right foot forward, walk the left foot to the left, hands on hip, right arm extends up. You don't even need your block. Inhale the breath, come halfway down, bend a little behind your left knee, and then place your right hand somewhere on the front of that shin leg area. Slide your left hand to the flat part of your back, align yourself, and then twist. You got it. So it's twisting triangle. We just taken this whole like circle thing. Jessica P, take your left foot more towards Steph, and I think you're gonna have a little more alignment. Yeah, and Steph, you can actually take your back foot and step it more forward. Yep, turn it more. Keep going, there you go. That just opened it up. Everyone's alignment looks really good. Hug the hips underneath you and try not to look back with your eyes. Just look sideways or look up. There's one flower here. Breathe. Two more. So on the next sharp exhale breath, you're gonna cartwheel up to center. So everyone's gonna face towards the grill and your hands are gonna be on your hips. So have your feet really wide. Yeah, hands are on your hips. Actually clasp your hands this morning behind your back if this is available. Inhale your breath, exhale, come down the middle and let your head go. And if having the hands bound is kind of like taking you out of the vinyasa, then just have your hands down on the floor. Bend behind your knees a little and bring your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders. And honestly, if you get anxious, yeah, this is the pose. This is the pose that calms it all down. So if I see you pulled over on the side of the road and you're a wide straddle, yeah, and the doors are wide open and there you are, I'll know exactly what you're doing. Good, come up halfway, release the hands directly underneath the shoulders, crawl your hands to your right foot, pivot the right toes around. You're in a low lunge. Walk the right foot to the over. We're not even gonna take a vinyasa here. So what we're gonna do now is activate your legs and come up to a crescent lunge. Okay, so take your hands to your hips, pause, get heavy in your front leg and drag your left leg up, like literally drag it up and flex the foot. The first one is terrible, always. You're gonna have to work this out. Keep your hands on your hips for this first one. Step your left foot way, way back and then crawl your arms up. Now, if you feel like you could do this better with your hands on your hips, by all means, give it a go. If not, keep your arms up, crawl the left leg up. It may not be so pretty, flex the foot. Step it back. Good, big step. Keep the arms up or hands to hips. Crawl the left leg up. Good. Wrap the left leg around the right. And wrap the left arm underneath the right arm. Eagle. If the foot doesn't go around, it's okay. Think about chair pose. Drop your seat, lift your elbows. And steer your hips to the back edge of the mat. This is outer hips, balance. Weight is in the heel. Lift the chest up a little higher. Yeah. Look down the center. There you go. So just unravel your arms straight up towards the sky. And just how you got in, you're gonna do the same thing. Press out of it, hug the knee, engage the core, giant step back lunge. See, it wasn't so bad. Drag the hands to prayer, inhale the breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Another one that you could back out by just staying upright. You can drop the back knee. There's plenty of modifications here. Walk your right foot just over towards Lauren a little bit. And you're gonna give yourself, your pelvis, a little room to move. Lean back a little bit in the pose. You wanna get the crown of the head to line up with your back heel. Activate your back leg. You got it. So you're high on the ball of your back foot or you're dropping your knee. Either way works. Even bigger step. Lean back and get in there. Twist open. Hands come down to frame your right foot. Pause. Drop your knee. Take your block and slide it underneath your left hand a little out in front of you so it looks like this. Reach your right arm back. So now it looks like this. This could be the pose for today. Kick the heel up and grab the foot if you want to take this deeper. This is called full pigeon. Yeah, grip your right hip in strong. And the more you slide your left hand out in front of you, the more intense it's going to get. So having the hand directly underneath the shoulder is going to be less intense. If you feel like your knee is jamming into the mat, you can take a regular half pigeon too if it feels better. The back knee should be on an angle. Good. Now look to the right or look up. Let the foot and the arm go. Pivot both hands around. Good. So what you're going to do now is walk your left knee in and bring your hands to your hips. We kind of started earlier like this. Crawl your right foot up. So it's going to look like a box, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. If this is not feeling good on your knee, you slide your block underneath. The softer blocks are going to be a little bit more forgiving. Keep the toes curled into the mat unless you're Meredith. Interlace your hands, inhale your breath, and pop your chest open. So this is the back bend for today. Grip the hip in strong and look up with your eyes. You can have your neck nice and neutral. Breathe. Pull your torso up, unravel your arms to the sky. Hands come down, activate your back left leg, step to a dog. Move through a vinyasa if you feel you need it. You might just be happy taking a breath and pausing. Once you get to your downward facing dog, land your left foot forward, crescent lunge, come on up. Take your hands to your hips for the first one. Keep bending into the front leg, drag your right leg up, flex the foot. Giant step back, crescent lunge. Your arms can be up if you want to work a little more, if you feel like you can manage. Drag your right leg up, do it slow, flex the foot. Giant step back, make it graceful. Good luck. One more, drag the leg up, flex the foot. Wrap the right thigh around the left, the best that you can, wrap the right arm under. Eagle. If getting your foot around your calf isn't working, just think about wrapping. You can even use your big toe as like a little balance. Weight is in the heel. Squeeze everything nice and tight down the center, like you're sitting in a chair pose. Stay with it. So lift your chest more up. Yeah, like create a little arch in your lower back. Good. Unravel just your arms. Make this as graceful as you can. Start to press up, hug the knee in, flex the foot, and then using your best dance moves, giant step back. Arrange your feet. You may need to walk your left foot a little to the left. Drag your hands to prayer, back out of the pose, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. Dropping your back knee down may be very helpful if you feel sloppy in the pose. There you go. Lean back a little, get the crown of the head to line up with your back heel and twist open. More weight forward on the ball of your back foot. Yeah, like you're gonna launch forward into a warrior three. 3 more breaths. Look down, take both hands to the floor, drop your back knee to start with on an angle. Take a block out in front of you. Your right palm goes flat on the block. The left arm wraps back. This could be the pose for today. Look sideways or look up. If you can kick your right foot up and it can match in with your left hand, go ahead and do that. Yes. The more you slide your block forward, yeah, the more intense it's gonna be. Try and grab from the outside of your foot. It's gonna be easier. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. This is the stretch. Like this gets you good right here. Lean back a little and breathe. And wherever you are is where your body is letting you go for today. It's your spot. Hug your left hip under you. Foot in your hand, bring both hands down to frame your front foot and bring your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. Walk your left foot in so it's straight up and down. Drop your arms by your side body. If you need to pad under your knee, go ahead. Clasp your hands opposite grip. Inhale the breath, slide the hands down the back of the right thigh and let your chest open. Hug your left hip in strong. There's a lot of really healthy space here. So we're not just jamming into our low back. We're getting a back bend, but we're creating an open back bend. Look up a little with your eyes. Don't get over, like you don't have to drop your neck way back. Pull your torso up, wrap your arms straight up, hands come down, curl the back toes under, step to a dog. Drop to your forearms. Walk your hands in a little. This is dolphin pose. Yeah. Walk your elbows in a little closer. Breathe your right leg up, hip height, hold, flex the foot. Lower the right foot down without too much moving or shifting. Breathe the left leg up, hip height. Grip the hips on underneath you. You got this. Wrap the sides of your triceps in. Good. Lower the left foot, dolphin pose. Walk forward now, forearm plank. This is it, my friends, forearm plank. Lift your right foot an inch. Just an inch. Some of you are very eager. Lower the right foot, lift the left foot an inch. Lower the left foot, hold. Plank position. Yes, hips up and back dog. Bring your right knee forward, half pigeon. It's not a long hold. It's about 30 seconds on each side. If it doesn't feel good, let me know and we'll find something else. And then fold yourself down. Yoga trance, just curl your toes under the mat, your left toes, and pop back up to a down dog. Slide your left knee forward, half pigeon, and fold. Good. Use the strength of your body. Pull yourself up. Keep the left leg forward just like it is. Lean onto your left side and swing your right leg forward. This is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. This is an oldie but goodie. I don't know how I remember the names of these things, but yeah, because I could barely speak English half the time. Slide your left foot out. It just shows you how, like, when you commit to doing something, like you learn it, right? Like the kid's gonna learn the bar mitzvah in the next 3 weeks, right? Okay, so the two butt cheeks are down. I hope so. Hug the right knee in. My husband needs counseling. Inhale the breath, look over your right shoulder and twist. He may be doing the bar mitzvah. It's his bar mitzvah again. Yeah, so the best thing here, Jessica, is to hug the knee in, sit up really tall, because this is going to give you a piriformis stretch, and make sure that you're not sitting on your foot, and twist open. Good, come back through center and just switch the legs. Good, and you can always do this with the legs straight underneath. Two butt cheeks down, left hand behind you. You want to keep the spine straight. Give this left leg a squeeze, like keep it close to you. Inhale your breath. Keep your left butt down. Look over your left shoulder and twist. Nice, even movement. Good, come back through center. Unravel yourself just like this. And then you're gonna butterfly your feet. You all have blocks, okay? Take the block any level. Obviously, if you go the highest, it's gonna be the most intense. I think, be kind to yourself. Yeah, and decide, do you want your legs a little further? I actually like them a little closer because you're gonna feel. And then grab your elbows. Use the back of your elbows to butterfly your thighs open. Inhale your breath, sit up tall. This may be it. Exhale the breath, you start to hinge. Now the movement should be slow. You shouldn't be jamming into low spine at all. Just stay upright because this is getting that inner and outer thigh, and really keep engaging the feet together. And you want to always kind of lead with your chest. Yeah, because we did all this work to open up front line. Lift up, take the feet flat to the floor. Flip the palms towards you. On the exhale breath, just release everything by lifting up. And I have my feet wrapped around this block to just keep things aligned. Straight line energy down the front line. Exhale the breath, lower down. When your lower back hits the floor, slide the legs out nice and slow. And elbow by elbow, lower yourself down to the floor. If this is not comfortable for you, you make yourself more comfortable. Because Shavasana is meant to let the body restore itself, but more importantly, let the mind just shut off. I will shut up and you can just breathe.